Before we start on the food companies, let me get your thoughts on the market's recovery. We saw Friday, it gained about 60 basis points. Today, it's up another 1.8. What are your thoughts on what we're seeing?
It's very impressive. 1.8% was just what we needed now. There had been fears that we were going back into the periods when there were drawbacks in the market, but market showed a strong recovery today. There was a little bit negative on the value side. 1.9 billion was a little bit less than what we would have been expecting, so it showed less conviction from market watchers. But all in all, it was a good performance. As you said, we saw the banks up. The four biggest banks were up over 3%. Nigerian Brewery, which is the most capitalized stock on the market, was up too, and we saw the flour millers and other food and bev companies perform well.
Indeed, and of course, Oceanic Bank, one of the rescued banks, was up over 4%. But let's look at Dangote Flour, and focusing on the food companies, like I mentioned, we've seen that that stock was up 4.9% today, and we've seen quite a bit of a trend. It's showing some recovery since the market started to trend higher. What's the story behind that stock? Because that's one stock that I think many analysts like right now.
Yes, we've been positive on Dangote Flour for a while now. There was a drawback when their FY results came in below expectations. The FY results were just about 5.8 billion compared to analyst estimates of about 10 billion because of some accounting misstatements by the company. But all in all, I think those have been sorted out, and the numbers now reflect strong growth by the company. The company brought out H1 results showing a 31% growth in PAT year-on-year. Valuation-wise, the stock is trading about 8 times. And when you compare that to other stocks on the market, it's really a strong story for now.
But what's the story behind the performance? Because like you said, the half-year numbers were very strong.
Yes.
What exactly are they doing differently?
First of all, lower prices, input prices have helped. 85% of input costs for flour millers are related to wheat. And then you're seeing wheat prices come down relative to 2009 levels. I agree, in the last 2 months we've seen about a 50% jump in wheat prices to about $7 per bushel, but it's still relatively favorable for the flour millers. Also, you're seeing them diversify into higher margin products like pasta, like semolina, and noodles. For instance, noodles market has been growing at a CAGR of about 22% over the last 3 years, and 1.6 billion packets of noodles were sold in Nigeria in 2009 alone. And the margins on that in that product line is about 2 times that on traditional milling business, and so that has driven growth considerably for the flour millers.
So Nigerian consumers have become very big on noodles, obviously.
Yes.
Okay, but give me your thoughts on the company's strategy, because I'm also hearing that they are looking to export in the medium term.
Yes. There is significant demand, as I said, for products like noodles and semolina in Nigeria and even outside Nigeria. We all know the traveling habits of Nigerians and how they take some of these products abroad. And many of these products are demanded from neighboring countries like Ghana, Togo, and Benin Republic. And so it's just in line with the demand that we're seeing from outside the shores of Nigeria that you see companies like that trying to penetrate into those markets. And so you're seeing the company having expansion plans. They presently have a capacity of 4,300 metric tons per day, and they want to increase it to about 7,500 metric tons per day. It's just to satisfy this demand.
And then, of course, like I did mention sometime last week, we've seen food-focused companies do very well this year. They've obviously outperformed the market as a whole, but just give us a sense of what exactly are they doing differently, or is it just a reflection of the economic growth of about well over 7%, and we're seeing the consumers benefiting as a result? What's the story?
For food companies, first of all, you know that many of them sell goods that are considered necessities, and so in a down period like this, you see their earnings better than the average company or in the market. So that has been going well for them. Secondly, the food companies have been very responsive to the new normal in the economy, if I might say. For instance, there's been a lot of trading down into lower goods because consumer income has declined. So you're seeing food companies scale down on the packages for the products that they produce, and so you see them selling a lot of retail packages to try and meet the new trend in buying from consumers. We've seen a lot of that. We've seen a lot of product innovation and a lot of product penetration into new markets. For instance, 7-Up has been aggressively expanding in its water business, and that has driven growth for the company. We've also seen companies like Nestle produce strong growth by penetration into new markets like the canned Milo that came in last year, and so that has really helped the food companies.